Fuzzydragon, this is a comment that he left 19 hours ago. Sounds like he's a little bit pissed off at some of the rants that I went on yesterday. So let's talk about this comment real quick. He says, talk about making a mountain out of a molehill. You didn't even wait for the molehill. They never said local multiplayer was going to have to wait. They responded to the question of if Oculus was pushing the developers to use that feature, which of course was no, not at this point, but that is still all up to the dev to implement. It's a working feature now and will be possible day one. Okay, so this is Fuzzydragon, and what he's talking about here is I kind of went on a rant at different times yesterday where I was really upset about the fact that it doesn't appear like local multiplayer is going to be a big thing for the Oculus Quest right away. And I played a clip from the tested interview, and honestly, I'll say to Fuzzydragon, watch that clip like 3 or 4 times. Watch it 3 or 4 times. And I'm gonna have to disagree with you, man. I'm gonna have to disagree with you because I watched that clip several different times, and Sean Liu, based on what he was talking about, to me, I got a clear indication from what he was talking about that local co-op is something that will come later. It's not coming at launch. I honestly, I will be shocked. I would love to be wrong about this. Believe you me, I would love to be wrong about this, but I don't think local co-op is going to be there right away. I think it's going to be something that might be a year after Quest is available, maybe 2 years after Quest is available. So I just wanted to clarify that real quick. But what I wanted to say is, so what I'm talking about with headsets commuting to each other, I want to try to be clear about what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is kind of like if you had a Nintendo 3DS. If you had 2 Nintendo 3DSs in a room, there doesn't need to be a Wi-Fi router anywhere for them to communicate to each other. There's portable devices. Okay, I'm not a technician. I don't make these things. This is not my job. I'm not into this. I mean, I don't know every little detail about this, right? But what I'm saying is there are portable devices. The Oculus Quest is a portable device. There are portable devices that can communicate with each other wirelessly without having to connect to any kind of a router. Am I wrong about that? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But that's what I've always thought. You know, we've had different portable devices that have come out, like Nintendo, you know, portable things like a PlayStation Vita or whatever. Like, I think 2 PlayStation Vitas, can't they connect to each other without connecting specifically to a Wi-Fi router? Like, what if you were at someone's house where there was no computer, no router, no Wi-Fi, no nothing? Let's say you were camping, somewhere. Couldn't 2 Vitas talk to each other? Can't 2 Nintendo 3DSs talk to each other? Could 2 Nintendo Switches talk to each other? So that's what I'm talking about there. A lot of people kind of got a little irritated with some of my rants yesterday in terms of it seemed like maybe I was going negative. Let me see, where else? I know there was another quote somewhere. The bottom line is this. Some people kind of insinuated that I was going a bit negative with the Quest. Why am I so critical about these certain situations with the Quest? And I just want to kind of wrap it up by saying, look, I am super hyped for the Oculus Quest. I want an Oculus Quest now. I want it right now. Spring 2019 cannot get here fast enough. I am excited and thrilled about the Oculus Quest, about where it is right now. You know, where it is right now with all the limitations that it has, with the fact that probably local co-op isn't going to be there right away, the fact that pass-through mixed reality probably isn't going to be there right away, that hand tracking probably isn't going to be there right away. Even with all of these possible shortcomings, I'm incredibly hyped about the Oculus Quest, and I would pre-order the thing right now. If it was available, I would pre-order it right now. And actually, speaking of that, it is not available to pre-order right now, but I'm going to switch over to this browser window right here. You can see it is actually on Amazon. There is a page up on Amazon. It says Oculus Quest all-in-one VR gaming system, currently unavailable. Want us to email you when this item becomes available. So here it is. It is on Amazon. It's showing up on Amazon. And instead of calling it a standalone, they're calling it all-in-one VR gaming system, which does kind of make sense there. So yeah, I'm super excited about the Oculus Quest. I want you guys to understand that. But at the same time, what am I going to do? Am I going to get up here for an hour and just like, oh, I love the Quest. Everything is great about the Quest. It is all rainbows and sunshine. Everything is wonderful about the Oculus Quest. It is a dream come true, blah, blah. You know, I'm not going to, like, I got to talk about every little aspect of it. And if there's some shortcomings, I'm going to talk about those shortcomings. But don't get it twisted. I am super hyped on the Oculus Quest, super excited about it. Okay, so I have a clip that I'm going to play from that very same tested interview with Sean Liu, project manager Sean Liu, with the tested guys about the Quest. And this is a very short clip. It's only like 20 seconds or whatever, but I think we've got something that has been confirmed, baby. And what I'm talking about here is, well, we know the Oculus Quest, we've heard that it's starting at $399, starting, which means there's probably going to be other options, other versions of the Oculus Quest, maybe more storage, maybe a more deluxe head strap with high-end audio. Well, let's go ahead and check out this clip because I think the cat was let out of the bag. Let's go ahead and take a look at this.
Notice two what looks like analog headphone jacks, one on either side. What's the thinking behind that?
You know, we do have a lot of audio solutions that are up and coming. You can take a few guesses. Yeah.
But those will both theoretically be there in the final product.
That's correct. They will both be there. Yeah.
Very interesting.
For now, you can plug in a headphone jack into either side, and it'll just work.
I know these are prototypes right now, but I also noticed two what looks like analog headphone jacks, one on either side. What's the thinking behind that?
You know, we do have a lot of audio solutions that are up and coming. You can...
Yeah, so that's it right there. I mean, I don't know if people really paid attention to this very short. I mean, it's only like a 26-minute, a 26-second clip out of this interview. But apparently there's a headphone jack on each side of the Oculus Quest. And Norman Chan was very astute to mention this, and he brings it up to Sean, and he kind of caught Sean off guard a little bit there. And at first I was thinking, I don't get it. Why would they have two headphone jacks? That doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But then I thought about it more, and I thought, oh, wait a minute here, bro. There's going to be a deluxe audio strap that is going to snap in to those two headphone jacks, and then it's going to have the built-in like actual audio similar to the Oculus Rift. So I'm going to say here right now that I really truly believe that when the Oculus Quest, as we get closer and closer to release, there could be multiple versions of this. We know about the 64 gig version for $399. Well, they might have a 256 gig version or a 128 gig version that includes this more deluxe strap that has built-in headphones very similar to the Oculus Rift. It snaps into those two headphone jacks on the side, and so that's probably what we're going to get there. So that's kind of been, I mean, not officially confirmed, you know, obviously not officially confirmed, but 1 + 1 = 2, right? You know, 1 + 1 = 2. So that's probably what's going to happen. I Am Rhett says he wants a 1 terabyte version. That's a lot of storage. Good luck with that. I don't know that they're going to go that big, but I'm hoping they don't go 64 128. I'm hoping they don't just double up like they did with the Oculus Go. One thing I wanted to check out real quick, Karnage Chronicles. There is this co-op update. You know, there's a lot of games that have been getting some pretty big updates. Primordian just got a pretty big update. New levels and new things have been added to Primordian. I haven't even jumped back in that. I really need to do that. But the other game is Karnage Chronicles, and there's a trailer for this co-op. I never played the trailer, so let's go ahead and check out the trailer real quick. I remember going through all these areas in Karnage Chronicles, and it's a beautiful game. It really is a great game. It's one of the better dungeon crawlers that we have in VR. I mean, if you're a fan of Vanishing Realms, and this is right there with that type of game. Really good dungeon crawler. I was really blown away by Karnage Chronicles when I first got my hands on it, because I kind of thought, you know, this is almost like everything that Vanishing Realms is doing, but this is doing it even better. And it kind of gives you that Lord of the Rings kind of vibe. You know, you're going up, you turn around a corner, and then you see this castle in the distance, and the waves are crashing, and all of this stuff. So Karnage Chronicles looks pretty freaking badass. The multiplayer looks cool. I got to jump back in this. I got to definitely give this a try. You know, a solid game, and especially with the multiplayer and all of that. One of the things I am kind of curious about, though, is the last time I did play Karnage Chronicles, I pretty much went through what they had available in terms of like the regular gameplay stuff that they had. And I know that the idea was they were going to add more. You know, there was going to be these other pathways, very similar to Primordian in that same way. Like you go into Primordian and there would be this one direction you could go, and then there's this other direction and this other direction, and this one is coming soon, and that one is coming soon. And that's kind of how Karnage Chronicles was, the promise of content that were coming soon. And I don't know if, I mean, I know they've added this multiplayer thing, but did they add other single player levels as well? So I really need to revisit that. I haven't been in there in a long time. I Am Rhett says, Karnage Chronicles or Vox Machinae? If you were only going to pick one of them up, which one would you pick up? And Jay Pace says, Vox Machinae is absolutely epic, by the way. Actually, it's funny, Jay. I was in my Oculus Rift last night, and I was playing a little bit of Space Junkies. And right before I got into Space Junkies, you know how you have your friends list there? Jay is actually on my friends list, and I saw that he was in Vox Machinae, and I was like, oh, look, Jay is playing Vox Machinae. He's in there right now. That's a hard question, though, I Am Ruts. It's a really good question. I'm more of a single-player guy personally, so I might kind of edge towards Karnage because it has... You could play plenty of single player and not even consider the multiplayer whatsoever. Where Vox Machinae, you can basically do the tutorial, but the game is multiplayer. The game is a multiplayer game. There's no getting around that fact. It is straight up multiplayer. And Karnage kind of has a little bit of both. But goddamn, Vox Machinae. See, I was not lying, guys. Jay Pace is he's my witness here. I am not lying. Vox Machinae was done so very well that even someone like myself that isn't really a multiplayer guy, they just put it together in such a good fashion from the standpoint of the cockpit, all of your controls, the communication with everybody. Just really damn good. I mean, goddamn, I'm impressed by Vox Machinae, and they're both exactly the same price. This is coming to PlayStation VR, I believe on Tuesday. I've never been a Racket Fury guy. I know there was a demo for the longest time. There may still be a demo that was on Steam for this. And I tried the demo out, and I know some people really like this. I just never wrapped my head around it, to be honest with you. And I have 11 table tennis VR. And like if I want to play some 11 table tennis, I mean, if I want to play ping pong, basically, I'll just play 11 table tennis VR. I'm pretty much good with that. So I've never really gotten into Racket Fury, but it is coming to PlayStation VR, so that will be available. Speaking of sales, this is the daily deal, guys. Kin is the daily deal on Oculus. It is $10 down from $15. Although honestly, if you have an Oculus Go, you might actually be better off buying Kin for your Oculus Go and just playing it 100% on your Oculus Go, because I think it works really well on the Oculus Go. You will need to have a controller, though. You need to have an actual legit controller, but it plays very well on the Go, so you might want to get it there instead. But if you don't have a Go, $10 for Kin. It is the daily deal on Oculus. So on the Vive subreddit, some of the things they're talking about here: asynchronous space warp 2.0 is going to be released soon for Oculus. Where the hell is our 1.0 space warp? Yeah, didn't we hear something a long time ago? I'm talking years ago. Didn't we hear something about how Steam was going to have some type of version of asynchronous space warp, some kind of similar style version that would help people out that have a little bit lower end PCs? I can tell you this, I am super excited for asynchronous space warp 2.0, considering the fact that I'm still on the 970. I do want to buy somebody's 1080 Ti. So once again, if there's someone out there that just bought a 2080 Ti or a 2080 and you're dumping your 1080 Ti, if you're willing to dump it at a lower price than you might get on eBay or something like that, hook me up with a deal. info@vrgamerankings.com. I'm ready to buy a 1080 Ti if I can get a decent deal on one and put my 970 to bed. I really am. But until that happens, asynchronous space warp 2.0 is kind of a nice thing. We have people trying to do a petition for Dirt Rally 2.0 getting some VR support. That was kind of surprising that Dirt Rally doesn't have VR support. That was pretty shocking. And then this one guy says, I really want full body tracking now. And I actually have the video for what this guy is talking about. Let me go ahead and show you this video. This is a video like from VR chat. So see, a lot of people in VR chat right now, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. A lot of people in VR chat, now they have the Vive Wireless adapter. So now they can move all around and get kind of crazy with it. And here's somebody, Quonk, doing all these dances and all these crazy maneuvers with his Vive Wireless adapter, and then also using, I believe they're using like Kinects, like Microsoft Kinects, to kind of get the full body tracking on the outside. So I'm not into the whole VR chat thing personally. Like I tried VR chat a couple of times, had some problems, some technical difficulties with it, never really got into it too much, but I know people like swear by it, and it's kind of like Ready Player One in certain ways. Like, I mean, they're trying to go into the metaverse like right now with full body tracking and that whole deal. And so the Vive Wireless adapter has really helped a lot of people out, being able to get a lot more freaky with it, as you can see Quonk dancing around kind of crazy style there. Our VR Roundtable episode, as far as I know, we will probably be talking about Vox Machinae, and I'm super curious to see what Steve and Gary and Chris think about this game, and if they are thinking it's as good as I think it is, and all of that. That will be interesting to find out tomorrow when we get into that. Maybe not the greatest episode we've had, but it'll suffice for today. This, of course, has been VR Game Rankings. Certainly check out the website if you get an opportunity. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and like the video. You don't have to smash that like button. You don't have to. Did anybody notice I got like kind of angry yesterday when I did that? You don't have to smash that like button. You can just barely tap it very nicely, and that will pretty much do it. I will be back tomorrow. I will start roughly about 10 minutes after the VR Roundtable episode, which usually is around like 10:50, 11 a.m. anyways, Pacific time. So that's probably when we will start. So I will see everybody then. Take it easy. Have a good one. Later.